As a matter of fact, there were no loss. It is a victory for all of us.
Thanks for clicking on this channel. Please subscribe to AFO's blog history and click on the notification button so that whenever we upload a new video you will be notified. Federal government recognizes the Oba of Benin as the rightful owner and custodian of all looted Benin artifacts. The federal government has issued a gazette recognizing ownership and vesting custody and management of repatriated Benin artifacts in the Oba of Benin. Before we watch Mr. Rizadawa's video on this issue of the Federal Government Gazette recognizing ownership, vesting custody and management of repatriated looted Benin artifacts in the Oba of Benin, let us do a critical analysis and implication of the Federal Government Gazette regarding repatriated looted Benin artifacts on the Edo State Government and its proposed Edo Museum of West Africa Art, EMOA. With the official gazette, the dispute over the ownership, custody and management of the repatriated looted Benin artifacts between the Oba of Benin, Oba El-Wahid II, and Edo State Governor, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, has finally been laid to rest. It will be recalled that the state government led by Godwin Obaseki had insisted that it would house the artifacts, and he has started building a museum which he names Edo Museum of West African Art, EMOA, to house the repatriated looted Benin artifacts, despite advice from prominent Benin sons and daughters, both home and diaspora, to put a stop to EMOA and join Oba of Benin to build Benin Royal Museum, which he turned deaf ear to. The Oba of Benin has no choice but to liaise with the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria Muhammadu Buhari, in order to secure and take custody of the repatriated looted Benin artifacts. According to the Federal Republic of Nigeria Official Gazette No. 57, Volume 110 dated March 28, 2023, entitled, Notice of Presidential Declaration on the Recognition of Ownership and an Order Vesting Custody and Management of Repatriated Looted Benin Artifacts in the Oba of Benin Kingdom, ordered that the ownership of artifacts looted from the ancient palace of the Oba and other parts of Benin Kingdom be and is vested in the Oba. It also ordered that custody of the repatriated artifacts shall, from wherever and whenever they are brought into Nigeria, be handed over to the Oba as the original owner and custodian of the culture, heritage and tradition of the people of Benin Kingdom in Edo State of Nigeria. The Gazette said the repatriated artifacts may be kept within the palace of the Oba or such other locations within Benin City, or other place that the Oba and the federal government of Nigeria may consider secure and safe. It further ordered that the Oba shall be responsible for the management of all places where the repatriated artifacts are domiciled or located. This is the paragraph in the official Gazette where Edo State Government was completely sidelined. It states that Oba of Benin shall work jointly with any recognized national or international institution to ensure the preservation and security of the repatriated artifacts for the benefits of humanity, and repatriated artifacts shall not be taken out of the designated custody without the written consent and authorization of the Oba, and upon such return, the artifacts shall first be inspected and authenticated by the Oba before it is accepted and restored to its designated custody. In the above paragraph, it was abundantly clear that the Oba of Benin cannot work with the state government in relation to repatriated Benin artifacts presently or in future. We at AFO's blog history are very happy and seize this opportunity to say a big congratulations to our father, Oba El-Wahid II, Oba of Benin, for this deserved victory over the forces of darkness. Please sit down and listen to Mr. Rizadawa as he explains his concept of no victor no vanquish, in relation to the Federal Government Gazette on repatriated looted Benin artifacts.
I want to talk about the trend of events. For these past 2 years, it has been quite very interesting for all citizens of the Benin Kingdom. For those who understand what it takes to be a Benin man or a Benin woman. There have been cascades of issues bordering on the unity of the Edo people. Today is not a day to talk about our differences, but to talk about the commonality of our interest. A people united under the sole leadership of the Oba of Benin, without undermining governmental institutions and every other institutions that were created or imposed on the Edo people by the onslaught of the British. Issues ranging from Ogiamir to the issues ranging to Ulegu. From there, issues ranging to the Benin Artefacts, and most recently, issues as regards the balkanization of Benin Kingdom by some Enigi. In these past 2 years, we have fought with a conviction based on loyalty to the throne, our principles, and our integrity. Today we share in the victory of His Royal Majesty Oba II Ogidigan, the Oba of Benin. And today we thank the President, Muhammadu Buhari, for constitutionalizing our stolen artifacts. It is one of the smartest moves by His Royal Majesty, understanding that it is not just issues currently bedeviling the artifact as to ownership. It will be an issue that will continually prop up by the coming of different state governments or even federal governments. So it was a smart decision by His Royal Majesty to plead to the conscience of the President to gazette this and constitutionalize what he owns. Some Edo people were not happy about it, but majority people of Edo extract were very glad and happy that all this fight for the true ownership of the Benin artifact has been put to rest. For those who were not too happy, this is not a video to mock your loss. As a matter of fact, there were no loss. It is a victory for all of us. However, some feel bad, but we can look at the differences, at our differences, and begin to look at ways that we can amend our differences. There is strength in the unity of the Benin nation. There are always two ways. The binary of life itself, it expresses two ways to look at things, the positives or the negatives, or the plus and the minuses, or however the wrongs and the right, the binary reflection of life itself. For I have looked at it critically from different perspectives, and I realize that they are not losses. Everyone is a winner. For those who felt there was a need for the state government to be in charge, it doesn't really matter anymore. But for us who believe that the true owner is the Oba of Benin, it doesn't also really matter anymore. The law has been passed. We have to come together as a people, united under their Oba, the Oba of Benin. Like I said, this is not a video to undermine every other institutions. But like it is, not everybody have the same ideology or perspective about life. For me as an individual, I see the royal institution as the most important institution that God has given to us as a Benin people. I might be wrong, I might be right, but that I'm old enough to take that decision. Likewise, other Benin people could also believe that the governmental institution is the best institution that God has given them, where they could voice out democratically their opinions. Binary reflections of life. But we must understand one principle, which is we are first Edo before any other thing. And by default, being an Edo man or woman, we have a loyalty to the throne that has persevered throughout history for the past 2060 years. I thank all the Benin patriots who has fought day and night for their heritage. I thank you truly. There are those who were very happy for all of these cascades of problems. But there were those who were not happy, but yet they have to fight for the commonality of the interests of their heritage. I fought believing in the principles that have been bequeathed onto the modern generations by the past generations of the old. History has reminded us over these years that people share in the victories that were achieved by very few. We pride ourselves as being sons and daughters of warriors and heroes, but not all of those sons and daughters actually fought wars in the past. So like I said, as an Edo man or woman, whether you fought for this or not, you can pride yourself as a partaker of the victory, as there are no losses to all of this. The artifact has just been constitutionally returned or given to the right owner. And that is a win-win situation for all Edo people all over the world, whether those who share in our enthusiasm of victory or those who do not. It doesn't really matter. We are first Edo before any other thing. So I thank you all. I, Immanuel Amogwe Ezodua, has been an ardent follower of the ways of our ancestors. Maybe I am not of this era, and that is why I am clocked too much in defending and preserving our history. But I must be very frank. I do not take the glory because it was a victory for all of us, a fight that we can be proud of, that we fought gallantly. I thank all the patriotic Edo sons and daughters who joined, even some of those who are past, notably my brother, Dr. Ogunane. He fought, but today he's not longer here with us to share in this joy and happiness. But the most important thing, tomorrow is Oduwa will not be here, but keeping the memories of those who we believe are very important to the cause of our historical heritage will continue to inspire generations unborn. There are two sides of our history. Those who were protagonists to the royal institution and those who were antagonists to the royal institution. I like to be in the side of the royal institution. It It is a decision I took somewhat about 7 years ago. And if you ask me today, it's probably the best decision have I ever taken in this life. But I do not hold anybody, anything against anybody if they antagonizes the royal institution. It has been part of the history of our land that where they are supporters, they are bound to be defaulters, or they are bound to be people who antagonizes. Not everybody is happy with the state government, but some persons are happy and some are not happy. The binary reflection of life, like I said, no institution can make the entire people 100% happy. There must be some people who believe otherwise. But I plead to the conscience of those who believe otherwise that there is a need for us to have a united Benin. A united Benin is stronger than a divided Benin. So I appeal to the conscience of those who feel that however gallantry that we are proud of was not done in the proper way. The most important thing, nothing is fair in war. We believe in a cause and we fought gallantly for it. We got a victory and we are happy about it. So I must thank all of you, and for the Enige who felt that it was my live video that was why they were suspended. I want to reiterate that their decisions were what led to them being suspended by His Royal Majesty. Zodowa has no hand in their present debacle. And I'm also very happy for those who are retracing their steps. It is the right thing to do. I encourage you to do the right thing. The Benin is too small as at today, knowing fully well in comparison to the great Benin that we were told about, the myths, the history, the legends of what Benin was in the old. We must look forward to how we can expand Benin and not further constrict it. I thank all of you. Moving forward, there might have been things that have offended some certain persons. However it may be, Oba of Benin still remains our Father, and internally He will remain our Father. So I thank you on behalf of myself and myself. Like I always say, anything that is only what does or says is based on his personal conviction. So I thank all of you. Na jowa na do goba dole do my mo bawe oba osa nowo dua yi ne do no ba oima waya worship. I thank you all, and I hope that this message gets to our hearts and be able to convince us that we should stay united and stand united as an Edo. There are no victors or losers in our past 2 years. The fight that we fought in the past 2 years. Why are we saving the Obama got talked by he said